Hi guys, you're watching Simply Emily and it is Friday! And also, it is the day where I start my new segment called Simply Fitness, where I give fitness tips and talk about fitness things. I asked for some ideas on my upcoming vlogs, what you guys are looking for, and I got a lot of people who said that they wanted me to do fitness things, mostly because anybody who knows me knows that I love fitness. I go to the gym all the time, I run outside, I don't know, I just really like doing fitness things. So, with that being said, I am starting my new segment today, and it is going on for a long time. I don't know how long. You'll find out why I don't know how long in a second. So, in this fitness series, I am going to be going through this book, which I haven't finished yet, but I like it a lot so far. It is called The New Rules of Lifting for Women, and it's by Lou Scholler, Cassandra Forsyth, and Allen Cosgrove. I really like it because it goes very in depth. It has so many studies to back up what they are saying, and it really talks about why women should lift, and there's no reason why women can't do the same workouts that men do. We've been told for a long time that we're supposed to do, light weights, just a lot of toning, sculpting, whatever, that is only for women, and it's more about endurance than strength, and that is just not true. Girls are very scared of getting bulky, and the weight room can be very intimidating, but I can tell you that you are not going to get bulky like a guy is going to get bulky unless you are taking some sort of testosterone supplements. You are not going to be getting bulky. You physically cannot get as bulky as a guy can get because we just don't have that in our systems. Okay, we're talking about this book. Guess what? This is also a giveaway. Yay! Giveaway! I'm going to be giving away a copy of The New Rules of Lifting for Women to one lucky subscriber. So, how you enter is you subscribe to Simply Emily if you are not already subscribed. If you're already subscribed, then there you go. You beat them to it and you are already automatically entered into the giveaway of this. So if you want this, which you're going to want it because it's so great. Look at all the pages and words. It has so many things. Look at that highlighting. Yeah, that means that I'm actually going through and finding stuff that I like so much that I had to highlight it and to remember it forever. So, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to be entered in this giveaway. I will be announcing it next Friday on the following episode of this segment. Okay, so while this book does have parts, it is really broken down into rules. The new rules, hence the title, New Rules of Lifting. So the first rule is the purpose of lifting weights is to build muscle. So you often read in magazines or you hear that women want to tone, shape, and sculpt their bodies. We have been programmed to think that that's what we want to do. We don't want to get bulky, we want to get slim and nice and toned, which everyone does. Tone is short for tonus, which I'm sure a lot of you didn't know because I didn't know that until I read this. And it is, let me look at this, the firmness of any muscle when you aren't flexing. So that is tone. So like right now, I'm not flexing and this is my tone. That's how tone I am. And as I said before, women's version of tone is making your muscles look better without them getting bulky. The thing is with that, if your muscles aren't challenged by the amount of weight that you are lifting, then they're not going to change at all. They're not going to grow or anything. They will look the exact same as they do now. Nothing's going to change if you aren't changing anything up. With or without excess fat, your body's not going to look healthy and fit if your muscles aren't changed underneath. As far as shaping, you can't shape your muscles because you were born with those specific muscles. Yes, you want to shape your body, I get what they're coming at with that, but physically you cannot shape your muscles because those are genetics. And sculpting is the combination of fat loss and muscle gain. The problem with that is if you're not gaining any muscle, then you can't sculpt any muscle. Rule number 2 is muscle is hard to build. You see a guy in the gym who is like looking at his muscles in the mirror, like flexing, all this kind of stuff. And that is because muscle is so hard to put on. It really is. It takes a lot of work and they're proud of it. I mean, when you work really hard and you diet and you go running every day, you do all this kind of stuff and you lose a bunch of weight, aren't you proud of it? Don't you want to show it off? So that's kind of the same thing with where they're going. And also this that falls into this category is with women, as I talked about before. Women are so scared of getting bulky, but like I said, they're not going to get bulky because we are naturally deprived of testosterone that makes you that bulkiness. Rule number 3 is results come from hard work. Not only in fitness, but in your entire life. If you want something, you need to work hard for it in order to get what you're really going for, reach your goals. With this, they talk about how you cannot expect to see some huge change and see these great results from doing something that is easy, like having really light weights. You need to feel like you're challenged, like you're challenging your body. They touched briefly on this in the rule before, but rule number 4 is that hard work includes lifting heavier weights. If you are looking to increase your strength, you're not going to see a difference from increasing from a 15 to a 20-pound Barbie dumbbell, which is what they call it. They call them Barbie bells, is the light weights. You're not going to see any sort of muscle growth because you are increasing your endurance, you're not increasing your strength. Rule number 5 is that you have to break some old rules. I really liked where they went with this chapter because the thing is, women they tend to be very textbook oriented. So I know what I would do usually is if I'm trying to follow a plan and they tell me to do some sort of lift and I don't know how to do it, then I go and look it up and I want to do it exactly like that person that's like on the YouTube video, whatever, showing me how to do it, is doing it. And that's great. You want to have great form, you want to have proper form so you don't injure yourself, but you also need to change it a little bit to fit you. Not everybody is built the same. Nobody is built the same. So whenever you're lifting, you're doing different exercises to be challenged and to make the exercise work for you so you don't get injured, and so you are really tailoring it to how you work out, then you have to change it some. Not everything is going to be textbook and very straightforward. With that being said, with form, your body is used to natural movements like this. So you wouldn't go into a gym and want to start moving it like this, something that's unnatural. So if it feels unnatural, you're probably not doing it right. If it feels natural, then it's probably okay. That's a general rule that I stick by and that they have been talking about in this book as well. Another thing that goes along with this rule is that a lot of women are very afraid of the weight room or the weight area, whatever, and I totally get that. Sometimes I'm still a little scared to go and intimidated into the weight room, and I am pretty used to going in by now. The trick that I found, they did not mention this book, but the trick that I found that works for myself very well is just act confident. Act like you know what you're doing, act like you're supposed to be there, and not anybody's gonna bother you, and you end up feeling a lot better about yourself in the end as well. Okay, rule number 6 is no workout will make you taller, which I thought was a weird rule because I don't really work out to make myself taller, but apparently people do. Where they were kind of going with this for women is that a lot of workouts will talk about, do you want to get legs like dancers, long, lean legs? And yes, we can work out our legs and make them leaner, but you're not going to make them longer because, again, that's genetics. You can't stretch your muscles to make them longer than you were born with. We tend to fall into the notion that if we do a particular person's workout, like you always see the Victoria's Secret model workout, that we are going to look exactly like those people. And we're never going to look exactly like those people. Yes, you could be as athletic as them, as good looking as them, as, as lean, as toned as they are, but you will never look exactly like them because you are a different person. We are all different people and we all will get different results in the end. Rule number 7 is muscles in men and women are essentially identical. Yes, muscles are built the same way in both genders. Muscle fibers in women are not structurally different than muscle fibers in men. Rule number 8 is muscle strength is essentially a matter of life and death. We don't typically think about this. We think more of cardio, at least I do, when you think about health, like I'm working out for my health. But muscle strength is a very, very big part of healthy living as well. There was a study done in 2003 from the U.S. National Institute of Aging, and they found out that people with less muscle mass than the other people that they studied that had more muscle mass were 2 times more likely to die from heart disease. So the big question is, should women do the same workout as men? I wanted to read this study from the 1990 Journal of Sports Medicine real quick, and it says, unit for unit, female muscle tissue is similar in force output to male muscle tissue. There's no evidence that women should train differently. Women's muscles are smaller, so the overall strength will be stronger in men. But there is nothing a man's muscles can do that a woman's muscles cannot do. They are built the same way. Then they talk about getting huge. You know, every guy who's into muscle, all those muscle heads, whatever they're called, at the gym, you all see them, they're like really trying to get huge is what I think. You know, they have like the muscles growing out, they don't have a neck, all that kind of stuff. Women and men increase muscle strength at roughly the same rate, but that doesn't mean that women are gaining as much muscle as men are. We are not gaining as much muscle, but we are gaining at the same percentage rate as they are. So the next section talks about muscle fibers, and there are roughly two categories of muscle fibers. One is endurance and the other one is strength and power. Endurance muscles take up about 44% of muscles in our legs. In women, the endurance muscle tends to be longer than the strength muscle. And in men, it's the opposite. They have a longer strength muscle and a shorter endurance muscle. With that being said, a lot of trainers or women who are working out can misinterpret this to think that we need to play to our strengths. We need to work out the endurance muscles more than the strength muscles, and that's how a lot of girls will start out training, because they want to work towards their strength. But here's where what I've been saying the whole time comes into play. If you do what you've always done, you get what you have always gotten. If you are continuously training your endurance muscles, you are only going to get better in endurance. That does not mean that you are going to get sculpted, losing body fat, and gaining muscle. Women actually should be doing the opposite. They should be trying to grow their smaller muscle and enhance their smaller muscle, because they have the potential to make the type 2, the strength muscle, bigger. The goal in the weight room is to develop type 2 muscle fibers, which have the greatest potential for growth because they are not as large as the endurance muscles. The plus side is we talk about all the advantages that women have over men in the weight room. Our muscles recover faster. They regenerate ATP, which is the chemical that provides energy for muscle actions, faster than men do. They experience less soreness a day or two afterwards, so we'll experience more soreness at the point right after working out, but in the long run we'll experience less soreness. So men are the exact opposite. They might not feel as much soreness at the beginning, but they're going to be hurting a lot worse a couple of days later. They also experience more inflammation, which sounds bad because normally when you think of like inflammation, you think of, I don't know, like a sore throat or something like that, but it's actually a good thing. An inflammatory response means that you have minorly damaged in which your body has to repair. Damage in weightlifting is not a bad thing. Yes, you don't want to damage it beyond repair where you have to go to physical therapy and all that kind of stuff. The cycle between damage and repair is the key to building stronger muscles, and it can also be the reason strength training speeds up metabolism. Because whenever these muscles are damaged, everything in the body has to work harder to repair the slightly damaged muscles. And the last rule for today is number 9. A muscle's pump is not the same as muscle growth. Basically, that's talking about inflammation can make muscles look bigger. So after you're done working out, have you ever looked at your muscles right after you worked out and you thought, man, I can already see a difference? You cannot actually see a difference. It is the swelling of the muscle that is slightly damaged, and it's the amount of fluid your muscles are holding temporarily. So that will go down and you won't see as much difference then, because it does take a while to build up that muscle. But in the end, it leads to the built muscles that you will see in a lifetime instead of right after you work out. That was the end of my first segment in this series of Simply Fitness with Simply Emily, and I hope you guys really liked it, and I'm really looking forward to going through this. The reason that I said that I have no idea how long this is going to take is because right now I am going little chapter by little chapter, and this book is pretty long. Look at all those little pictures and stuff. So whenever I finish, this is when we finish it. But I'm so excited to be going through this with you guys, and like I said, I've been reading through this and I'm kind of reading it through with you guys. I'm reading a chapter talking about it with you, reading the next one, so on and so on. So we are really in this together. Also, do not forget about the giveaway. I'm really excited to send it to you guys, and it also will come with a personalized note from yours truly. So if that is something that you're interested in more than the book, then you better subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to our next one. Don't forget to hit that like button and also comment if you have any questions or any comments or anything I said wrong or you disagree with. Let me know. And also check out my Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook, because I am in all of them, and sometimes I post things on there that I don't talk about on here. So keep updated with my life, and see you guys later.